It is a pleasure once again to have Ephraim to teach us Torah, and thank you, Ephraim. You're on.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you very much for until I get today. Baruch Hashem, we keep for Shabbat. Took a couple more minutes. Parshat Balak actually start pasuk of Chukat. The last pasuk of Parshat Chukat starts. It says how Bnei Yisrael reach Arvot Moav al Yarden Yericho, beginning of where we are. And here in Parashat Balak, the point of what exactly is going on, why is it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, on some level, seems that he changes his mind a couple of times. And I'll explain. We all know that Balak tried to convince Bilam to come and curse Bnei Israel, as I brought here. Oh, Betorah asher lana lemor hine am, that there's this nation, Egypt. They're everywhere because they just finished conquering also the land of Sichon, also the Amori. So he's afraid of. So he sends these messengers to speak to Bilam. I'll sleep here tonight. Now I will, what the result is whatever Hashem says to me, and Hashem says, don't go because you can't curse Bnei Israel because they are a blessed nation. Balak sends again, and then Bilam says again, listen, I can't do anything that Hashem says I can't do. But stay here, maybe we'll get something out of it. And Hashem says to him that, he says in Pasuk, if they came to call you, kum lech itam, you go with them. But don't tell you to do. And then two psukim later, and Hashem gets mad that he went. So why is he mad? What changes? And then the whole story with the donkey, that it says that the donkey sees the angel the first time blocking him, the second time, the third time when he finally understands, I didn't realize, know that you're here stopping on the way. But if you don't like it, Hashem, I'll go back. But again, don't forget, you can say what I told you, what I saw. But again, this brings this point of 3 times already did Hashem on some level change his mind. Don't go. Then he said, you know what, you could go. Then on the road, and he says, you know what, you could. How does that work? How is it that Hashem is changing his mind there 3 different times? A side note, that the donkey sees Hashem and Bilam doesn't, when Bilam is the one who's really the prophet, that's a different point. Maybe we'll discuss. It's a very interesting explanation and says really that as you could seem to understand it on a simple level in the psukim, rather kvar bi'anu ki kol makom sh'boriyat malach dibru, every place that it says someone saw an angel or him or the angel was talking, sheze omnam hu b'mar'eh b'chalom. It's some kind of a dream. In other words, Bilam dreamt that his donkey saw the malach and that the malach answered him and that the malach said no. Let's say that makes it a little easier to understand. But exactly how is it again that it's still in his dream, he has Hashem, so to speak, in his mind a couple of times. So the Ramban, very interestingly, gives the different he says, after he quotes Rashi, and he quotes Ben Ezra here in source 3, Benai, is it? What I think is right, excuse me, Mitchila men'o Hashem Shem away from the curse the nation because they are blessed. So once Hashem said you can't curse them, Bilam's got nothing else to do. That's what he was. That's what he's being offered to do. Please come and curse them. If you don't allow me to, then I got nothing else to go. Therefore, I'm going. The curse, then I'm not going. The is blessed, can't be cursed. No point of going. Goodbye and good luck. And we know Bilam said what Hashem told him. The second time when Balak sends, Balak said, what are you talking about? That you can't do it. God told you no. God told you yes. It didn't make sense to him. So therefore, he sends him another one. He says, I'm going to give you more money. And in the fourth line in the middle, Bilam answered them, it's nothing to do with money. It's nothing to do with my personal will. It's up to Hashem, and I have to ask him. And he said, no. If he says yes, I can go, I'll go. But it's not. And therefore, the second time, Hashem says the same thing. You could go, but you can't curse them. But what does Bilam answer? Hashem said I could go. That's only half the answer. The full answer was you could go, but you can't curse. Bilam doesn't say that. Bilam says I could go because Hashem said I could go. So therefore, when the third time, so to speak, Hashem starts on some level blocks him and tells you, it's not that he's changing his mind again. Rather, he's saying, I told you, you can't curse them. You're going to curse. In other words, the difference between this is that the first time he said, because there's no point, you can't curse. But if you want to go by yourself, go ahead. You want to go on a walk, you're going to go on a hike, but you can't bless or you can't curse them. You could only bless them. So even though he knows that he can't go to curse them, and he's still going anyways, so Hashem backs him. He says, you can't go to curse. That's the third time. Here it's so to speak only one time that he's changing his mind, but it's not really a full change of mind. It just said, if you want to go walk with them, then go be my guest. It's not really a difference between the first and the second, and definitely not between the second and the third. And the Ramban continues and says, Bilam was supposed to Balak and say I could only go with curse, but he didn't. That's the problem. And again, the third line from the top, because Bilam so much wanted to go, he didn't tell them that. He didn't tell them that. He didn't explain to them the difference between what they want him to do and what he'll be able to do. And he was so excited to maybe be able to curse because he wanted to do that. That's why Hashem got mad at him. So the Ramban, if the Rambam said it was only a dream, the Ramban says the difference is that Bilam did not give the full answer the second time, and that's the difference between the first and the second and the third. The Rashbam gives another point where Bilam, as a prophet, doesn't understand his level or his responsibility or his ability. What does it mean to be a Navi? A Navi does not make up something on his own. Rather, he can only do something Hashem told him to say. Et asher tevarech, source 4, b'nevuah, in prophecy. Gam Balak haya yodea shenavi haya. Also, Balak knew he was a Navi. And he thought that b'nevuah haya omer atidot, or alidei ksamim, ki chenikra Bilam hakosen b'Yoshua. He thought that the prophecy also includes the different things that Bilam says on his own. That's not true. Rather, he thought that by Bilam offering the korbanot, something could change. That is incorrect. That is not true, and that is why he tried his best to maybe be able to change Hashem's mind before he started. But then we know that Hashem did not accept that because Hashem didn't want to change what Hashem wanted to happen. As for an example, we know that Yirmiyahu didn't want to say those things, but Hashem gave him nevuah. He had to say them. Yirmiyahu talks about how it's like a fire within him. He has no other choice besides saying it. Avraham Avinu was forced by Hashem to pray that will be cured of whatever took Sarah. השב אשת האיש כי נביא הוא, ויתפלל בעדך ויחיה. Abraham is a prophet, is a Navi, he's a prophet. He will pray and he will be there for making him feel better because Hashem, told him that that's what he has to do. And obviously, even more famous is Yonah that we read on Yom Kippur, Sefer Yonah, how Yonah doesn't want to see the prophecy, but it's what Hashem tells him he has to do, and that's what he does. And he can't choose what his prophecy is going to be or how to say. And so if we basically give these three explanations or these three options of it was really a dream, or Bilam thought he could do something, or he didn't give the reasoning to Balak, that definitely gives it. But Rav Meir, Rosh Hashiva of Har Etzion, gives a fascinating explanation, which I'll just say it. I'll without going into it, I'll explain that we know that the story about Balak and Bilam, we have the story about Chet Baal Peor, how Bnei Israel follow the Avodah Zarah of Peor, and how they get connected to the women of Midian and Moab, and the sin that comes with that, until Pinchas comes and kills president of Shevet Shimon, and because Bitsu, the daughter of the king of Midian, to stop the plague that started within the nation. Rav Midan wants to suggest that really these two stories are not after each other. Usually you think that Bilam, because he wasn't successful in cursing, he then gives a tip and how to get Bnei Israel into trouble, and he says, okay, if they do Avodah Zarah, they'll be in trouble. Then wants to offer that really these two stories happen at the same time. The different response to the way Bilam can behave and the way Bilam can or what he meant to do, and I'll explain. The first time is before Bnei Israel. Therefore, they are a blessed nation. You can curse them. Can't do that. Maybe they'll sin, and then they won't be if they will start sinning, then things will change, and then maybe Hashem will allow me to curse them. The sin happens, and sure enough, Hashem says, you know what, you could go. You still can't curse them because maybe they'll do tshuva, but you could go. And then he goes, and then right before he starts actually to curse, the malach comes and stops him because Pinchas comes, and he already does his act of killing the sinners, and then Hashem says, "Oh, wait a second. He started. Continue walking, but I have a feeling something's going to happen here." And then Bnei Israel do tshuva. Pinchas ben Elazar gets Briti Shalom. He's able to connect all of Bnei Israel back to Hashem. Explains why what they did was wrong, and then Hashem says, "That's it. You really can't curse. It's only blessing, and that is why the blessings come out." And it's a fascinating explanation, but it answers why the difference between the different stages of Hashem's answer and Bilam's situation of what he's going to do to Netzah and how he's going to do it. It explains the reasoning of back and forth. It explains the connection between the stories here. The story could have easily been later on, before the war that Netzah will do with Midian afterwards. Also with Pshat, and also with understanding the deeper understanding of the connection of these two stories. And maybe the psuk in Sefer Dvarim, "V'lo ava Hashem Elokecha lishmor el Bilam." Hashem did not want to, or didn't, or wasn't convinced, so to speak, to listen to Bilam. Vayafoch Hashem Elokecha lecha dakala livracha. Hashem changed the curse a blessing. Ki ayevcha Hashem elokecha, because Hashem loved us. Of course, Hashem loves us. But when we do tshuva, obviously Hashem loves us even more. And this shows us that even though this is a story that basically shows us the behind the scenes of what's happening to Bnei Israel over time, at the end of the day, the connection between Bnei Israel and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a very strong, has a strong effect also on the way Bnei Israel act, also the way Bnei Israel are guarded by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and maybe be zochet to be in a strong relationship and connection between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we will always be blessed and Hashem will take care of us and look out for us at all times. Thank you very much, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. And hopefully we will hear only b'sorot tovot, and good things will continue to happen. Shalom, and enjoy your weekend.